Okay, after the summer season. Okay. All right.
It may change. It's a federal contract. We don't
Right,
have
but
a lot
that's
of control.
more loss of revenue for the town.
It's a federal contract. We don't have a lot of control over it.
Okay, all right, thanks.
You're welcome. See no other hands, I'll make a motion to close the public portion for the resolution calendar.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. First resolution is authorizing payment of bills list number 1. This is a list that Councilman McGovern is going to
We're
extend.
going to recuse yourself from.
Refuse?
Recuse.
Excuse?
I'll offer a move for its adoption.
Second.
Councilman Dunphy?
Yes.
Councilman Lee?
Yes.
Mayor Doherty?
Yes. Next is resolution authorizing payment of bills list number 2. I'll offer a move for its adoption.
I'll second.
Councilman Dunphy?
Yes.
Councilman Gover?
Yes.
Councilman Lee?
Couple questions. AA curbing, improvement to Ocean Ave.
Yes.
What is that?
They're the contractor doing the sidewalks and the curbing up at Ocean Avenue near the boardwalk.
Did that go out to bid?
Oh, yes.
Did they want it?
Oh, yes.
Don't remember the name. Okay. What else? The graphics, business cards. Who do business cards for? $627 worth of business cards.
I ordered new business cards for the borough with the new logo.
Without me?
I didn't think about console, actually.
Okay. GM printing, daily record cards, bank transfer cards. What is that?
Those are standard paperwork that we have here at the borough to do transactions.
Okay, and the towing and storing, what are we doing with 5 vehicles? We have $13,000 for towing and storing of 5 vehicles.
Those were for vehicles damaged in the storm that were held at the towing lot. I'm going to look for my camera for a little bit of assistance here before we moved them to Dempsey, so as we didn't incur further costs. Correct.
Johnson Communication, service call to replace 911. Isn't that a brand new phone system?
No, our 911 system is not brand new. Johnson Communication came out to do a fix. We had a technical issue on a weekend, I believe, Chief, and they came out to fix it.
Okay. The Marina Electrical, 2 power heads. It has Marina Improvement unfunded. What does that mean, unfunded?
I really have to ask for Robin. I believe that's the name of the account, and it's funded by the bond ordinance that we passed for the marina.
Okay. Small bike shirt, $100. Medium bike police shirts, $450. Large bike shirts. Is that for special shirts? For
No, that's not bike patrol.
That's for what?
Bike patrol,
For them to get shirts?
the place where you get a uniform.
Okay, so the bike people have different uniforms than the people that walk?
Yes.
Okay. Security Cam Depot. I don't know what that is. The cranes, that's to put the trailers up on the boardwalk.
Very true.
That's $2,000. And name badges for employees. That's for what, the beach?
Our beach workers.
That's over $1,000. How many employees we got?
Oh, we have, what, 200 now?
200 employees?
No, including the, including laboratory. How many beaches?
I think it's about 145.
Employees?
Yes.
Wow, okay. You know what, I don't like the business card thing, I'm voting no on this. I think $4 million, we're taking out in debt and FEMA loans, and we're still spending like, I'm crazy, so I'm voting no.
Mayor Doherty?
Yes. The next 2, I will recuse myself, just like Councilman Gover. Step up, ready.
We have a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the club license for the Sunday Celebration Rally.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Councilman Dunphy?
Yes.
Councilman Gover?
Yes.
Councilman Lee?
Yes.
Next is a resolution permitting special permit for social affairs for the premise of this rally. The motion to approve.
So moved?
Is there a second?
Second.
Councilman Dunphy?
Yes.
Councilman Gover?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Next is our consent agenda. I'll offer a move for adoption of the consent agenda.
Second.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to add the address into that, into the one.
You can do that. Well, I'm trying to put that in.
Or what is the address for the record?
1,000,
Good?
Councilman Becky?
Yes.
Councilman Goodwin?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
yes. Next are ordinances. First one is second reading public hearing ordinance 2013-9, ordinance amending supplementing chapter 50, development regulations of Ohio General Ordinance for the Borough of Belmar, impervious area, section 5 zoning district regulations. We're going to, I'm going to make a motion to table this until our July 3rd meeting. The reason why we're tabling is because the planning board has not had an opportunity to review it and offer comments on it. So offering, or making a motion to table ordinance 2013-9.
Second.
Councilman Becky?
Yes.
Councilman Goodwin?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes. Next ordinance is, again, second reading public hearing, ordinance 2013-10, calendar year 2013 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and establish a cap bank. This is for second reading and public hearing. If there are any public comments, questions on this, please raise your hand and wait to be called on. Seeing none, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye. I'll offer and move to adoption, ordinance 2013-10.
Second.
Councilman Becky?
Yes.
Councilman Goodwin?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
No.
Mayor Gurke?
Yes. Next is ordinance 2013-11, bond ordinance providing for various water and sewer infrastructure improvements in and by the Borough of Belmar, County of Monmouth, New Jersey, appropriate $5 million thereof, authorize the issuance of 4,761,900 bonds or notes in the Borough of Belmar and finance thereof, the cost thereof. Man, that was good. So this is open for public hearing. Any public comments, questions on this? This is the ordinance regarding water sewer. Yes, sir.
Got those guys. Okay.
Hi, Chuck Ross, Maplewood Road. I didn't see the location for where the improvements would take place in the ordinance.
That's a great question. That's going to be a collaborative effort between our Department of Public Works and engineers. I will tell you, on Maplewood, you guys will be on it because we know you have water problems there. I don't know about Oakwood, River Court, I think, does, Pine Tree Way, Briarwood for sure. So the Rhode Island Point Center had some serious challenges. And then there's other sections of town we noticed, 19th, 20th and Surf in that area, Snyder, 8th Street in that area. So it's not in any one set area, it's kind of spread out. But
Oakwood was included.
what's that?
Oakwood is included.
Oakwood is included as well. So it'll definitely be on your street, I'll tell you that, Chuck. It's a little bit better idea once the operation comes together as far as the PW and the engineering.
And I just want to say, I understand we have a lot of money we've been spending, and if anybody has any hesitation on this one, you're more than welcome to visit myself's house or any of our neighbors at any time of day. I moved in 3.5 years ago, and we've battled a continual yellow-ish tint, and at some point, sometimes it's borderline rusty brown for the last 3.5 years. So it's nothing new from Sandy, as I was at the last meeting when we originally read it, and I know there's some areas of town that were experiencing some discoloration as a result of Sandy, but it's been an ongoing struggle for us. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Karen Cadigan. I live next to Chuck in Maplewood, 1229. I was here last meeting when we went outside and talked to the American Water people. So I just wanted to reiterate today, as Chuck is, we're concerned that Maplewood is at the top of that list because it has been an ongoing problem. I wanted to submit this just because it was something about grants back in 2010 where Maplewood was listed, to again reinforce that it's not a new issue, that we've been dealing with this for a really long time. So I don't know if I can give that to someone. My pool picture was the big thing last time. My neighbor has the same pool, he just filled it 2 weeks ago. He's on his 4th filter. It's still tinted. It was worse than ever, he said, this year. And we're filling our pool this weekend, so if anyone wants to come see what it looks like, it usually looks like a lake when we start, and it usually takes about 2 weeks to get it clear, so I'm not nervous. But I just want you to know it's really a problem. I don't call all the time because we have so many other more important issues going on. I just assume that you guys know and you'll do the right thing.
Right. And we're getting there. This is the first step of doing that is actually declining funding.
Okay, thank you.
With the interim use of our own well, things have improved a little bit with that?
It has improved for some, not all,
Right.
and not universal.
Not totally, but
No, not totally.
some spotty?
Some people have seen improvement, but it's not been universal.
Okay, thank you.
Right. And I think, again, that goes back to when New Jersey American Water is here, we talked about the chemicals that they put
Yes.
in. The new chemical they put in, I forget the name of it, it tends to take off the rust from the inside of the pipe. So the pipe's rusting. It's just one chemical takes off more of it and brings it to some homes, whereas other pipes that aren't as rusted, it's not taking that stuff. So the homes today, our water's going through without that chemical. So where there's not a lot of rust, it's okay. Where there's a lot of rust, as she mentioned, it's the improvement is minor, if any.
Did American Water concede that it was the problem of the chemical in the water?
No. I don't imagine they're going to concede that it's.
But it's logical that that's a problem. Would you agree with that, Michael?
I agree they're not gonna limit that.
Plain and safe, right? All righty.
Any other questions? Yes, Brad.
Yes. Brendan Reed, 109th Avenue. My question is concerning the outfall project into the Shark River. What type of permits, approvals are necessary?
The ordinance we're talking about is just the bond for water sewer, so that would actually be during public portion.
Oh, I'm sorry, no.
No problem.
Okay.
Yep, Gene?
Jean Folger, 13th Avenue. I'm just wondering, do we have a timeline on this, like when they're going to start it and expected?
Well, we're not allowed to even go out to bid until the funding is approved. So we have to get funding approved first, and then.
One of the reasons why we introduced so quote unquote early in the summer season was in hopes of getting through the first and second reading and stopping periods so that we would be in a position to start work after Labor Day.
Okay. Now, in light of the fact that we had some raw sewage in some areas over by that area over this last weekend, is there any intermediate measures being taken to safeguard against that? I know the whole thing needs to be replaced, but is there anything we can do in the interim just to keep, I said we had some raw sewage and whatnot in the streets down there this weekend?
Well, I mean, Mike.
Unfortunately, it was raw sewage throughout the town wherever the pipes backed up. 10th Avenue, 7th Avenue, they got inundated with water and it came back. It was supercharged, the system was supercharged. Until we get the water out of the lake with the other system, we do the best we can. I know with the sewers, we do contact Smurfs and they up their pumps and they increase the volume that they're pumping. That's about what we can do until these things are resolved.
Okay. So was this, was all of the excess or the overage, I said we're pumping something like 4 or 5 times the normal capacity through the system, was that all due to the storm or to the rain? Or is there other contributing factors?
Absolutely because of the rain.
It was all because of the rain?
100%.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions? Yes.
Gene Kramer, 4th Avenue. I went through this real quickly, and by the way, no typos. Thank you very much.
You went through too quickly.
Did I?
I'm sure there's a typo.
Okay. And actually, the reason I didn't spend much time on it was was really counting on relying on the comments and recommendations of the Belmar Planning Board. This is a master plan issue, capital improvement project. And as you mentioned before, I guess one of the other ordinances, the planning board, I guess is under pressure to comment on things. And actually, this one here, there's a statutory requirement, 45 days, a statutory clock, excuse me. And I'm not even sure whether that has started ticking yet. But even if you took, in other words, the planning board has 45 days in order to make comments or recommendations concerning a capital improvement in town with public money. And at least here, the down payment is public money. I guess we're going to go out on the street and borrow the remaining amount. But according to the municipal land use law, the planning board is supposed to be afforded 45 days. And this was introduced on, if you take it at that, and I'm not sure the clock is ticking yet, but it was introduced on June 5th. The planning board actually has until July 20th. Otherwise, the mayor and council can't take any action on this. All right, and that's the statute 4055D-31. And I can give a copy to your attorney if you want to.
If you could, yeah, Michael, you want to? Sure. Chime in here? It's not a zoning issue.
No, it's not. I'm not quite sure the position taken by Gene. I'll certainly look at that.
But just to be clear, as our borough attorney, you have no problem with us taking action on this second reading in public.
Or, excuse me, action would be voting on this.
Yes, sir.
That's explicitly what is in the municipal land use law. This is supposed to, the planning board is supposed to have the opportunity to review the capital investment using public money. This is exactly water and sewer. This is a capital improvement. And this is cool. Thank you.
Any questions, comments on just this ordinance? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to close the public portion of the ordinance. Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Next, I'll move, offer and move for adoption, ordinance 2013-11.
Second.
Councilman Beck?
Yes.
Councilman Gover?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
On the record, Rhode Island Point, right? That's what we're fixing up, and 1920 Surf Ave, the south part of town, that's what we're concentrating on?
Plus part of the water plant.
Yes.
Mayor Daley?
Yes. That takes care of our ordinances. Next is public session. Public session is, works very simple. Raise your hand, wait to be called on. Come up to the microphone, state your name, your address for the record. You have 5 minutes at the microphone, whether you want to ask questions or you want to speak. Totally up to you. After 5 minutes, you're required to sit down, and someone else is going to get up and speak. So, be respectful. Yes, Tom?
Good evening, Tom Rogers, Clayton Drive, Wall Township. I have several questions, but I guess part of it is the hot dog cart issue that we have down on the Ocean Avenue. Now, I know there's some laws concerning the vets, and believe me, I'm not here to bash a vet. They need to work, and I understand that. But what has occurred lately is that we have a hot dog cart that sometimes is here, sometimes not there. I asked for clarification. I have a lot of questions, and it just seems like I haven't gotten a lot of answers, so that's why I'm here. And again, specifically, the questions would be, can they go any place they want? I've been told yes. Sometimes I've been told they can't go on Ocean Avenue, can't go across the street. Do they contribute to the tourism committee? Do they have liability insurance as I carry? You know, right now we're struggling on the beachfront. We really are, and I know you know our sales. Every dollar we lose right now is really critical. I'm telling you that. I just need a clarification. Where can they go? Can they go anywhere? You know, I talked to the other vendors, and what we suggest, and again, I know they need to work, and I appreciate that, but maybe they rotate, or they have an area that they go into. The gentleman was next to me, I asked him, I said, can you go to a different block where we don't have food? And his answer was, well, there's another hot dog vendor on the other corner. And I said, well, why don't you go to the other one? And he said, well, he didn't want to encroach on his business. But the flip side is, they're encroaching on our business. I'm just looking for an area of being fair. So they have an area to operate, we have an area to operate where they're not encroaching on our business, and we can all live peacefully.
Why don't you give us info, and we'll have our attorney give you the legal opinion about, where and when veterans can operate carts. I know the one thing we have, the police department is able to enforce is that they can't create a traffic hazard. But, I think you have a legal question, so.
I'll walk back to you, Tom.
How have other towns handled this? Because I called a few towns and they pretty much told me, no, they don't allow hot dog carts, even if you're a vet. And I didn't get into legalities because I'm not an attorney. Again, I'm just asking for fairness, that we all work together and we can all make a living.
How many carts are there?
I'm not sure. I can't give you an honest answer. I really don't know. I know one of the gentlemen's here, and he could probably give you that specifically. But, I've been there 18 years. We've never had a hot dog cart on our corner, and it arrived. Now, I looked into some of the specifications on what it says on the ordinance, and I don't know if we're meeting all those. Again, I'm not here to bash anybody. I want everyone to work. I'm just looking for fairness, so we're not killing each other. That's all I'm asking for. Thank you very much.
Yeah, John. And you're dressed better than these guys, too.
Jerome Beckman, Beckman's on the Beach, 1605A Ocean Avenue. My family also owns Beckman Stationery on 10th Avenue in Belmar, and we have a store in Asbury Park as well. I don't have any problems with the guy selling hot dogs. It's just, we pay a lot of money for those stores, a lot of money for those stores. To have somebody selling the same products for less right in front of me. I mean, honestly, if I could pick up and move my store two blocks away from Tom, I'd do it in a heartbeat. You guys got some places opening up on the boardwalk, you might see me move there, because I have no idea why the guy would want to be selling right in front of us. Personally, I think it's a bad business decision. I would want to be someplace where there's nobody else, and where I'm not standing right in front of somebody else selling the same thing who obviously doesn't want me there. That's all. Thanks.
And Joe, congratulations on getting open for the summer. And your place, please.
It's so much nicer than the old store. That's the ironic part about it. I mean, there were so many things that I wanted to move around on, but I never wanted to tear the whole store apart to do it. Well, it was already completely torn apart, so.
I remember seeing yours at any store, and it was demolished.
My store, me and the surf shop.
Surf shop?
Don, I can't believe Don got it done as fast as he did.
Congratulations to you guys.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's nice. Now we just need some weather, because that's all that matters.
Yes.
I just have a handout for everyone.
Sure, just name and address for the record.
Lee Riddle, 151 Sawmill Road, Brick, New Jersey.
It's not even from Belmar.
Lived on 13th Avenue.
Belmar.
What's your name, sir?
T-7.
Okay. In the second portion of this handout, I said Captain Heisman. I'm actually referencing the chief here. Directly after 9/11, I served 8 years in the Navy and have been deployed to Afghanistan, Iraq, and Somalia. I'm an honorably discharged disabled veteran who started Devil Dogs, a hot dog cart business in Belmar in early March of this year. New Jersey has numerous benefits for veterans which are being infringed upon by several municipalities. In the following, we will evaluate the law in question and go through a background and sequence of events I've experienced thus far. New Jersey goes above and beyond supporting their veterans, particularly in terms of vending. The license to vend law reads the honorably discharged veterans may obtain a no-fee license to vend any goods, wares, or merchandise, or solicit trade within the state. Somehow this law has been attacked in several municipalities, and it most likely has to do with existing businesses bullying smaller ones. Other businessmen may communicate that me or my business partner cannot operate on Ocean Avenue, but I will specifically explain that that is not what the law reads. And by the way, I'm not in front of any business. I'm on the side on the corner. The following is the law in question. No one may display their goods, sell or offer for sale any goods or services, or in the beachfront, boardwalk, Ocean Avenue, or any public right-of-way within 150 feet. If you go down to the bottom portion of the law, you'll see, with the exception of those pertaining to the boardwalk and beachfront, shall not apply to veterans or exempt firemen possessing a valid license issued pursuant to NJSA 4524-9. The law mentions Ocean Avenue at the beginning, but does not include it in the second half where it applies to veterans. Note that beachfront is differentiated from Ocean Avenue. If you buy tools from Home Depot and bring it to the clerk, is the clerk selling you something or Home Depot? Raina, my business associate, is not a veteran, but she is my employee. She's not selling hot dogs, I am. Why would Belmar have a vending license and fee for people who are not veterans if they cannot be my employee? I have purchased license valued over $1,000. Raina has complied with 20 TAC 3.2K, which states that my employee must obtain a license and photograph. Belmar has performed background checks, filled fingerprints, and received my DD-214 and application for both Raina and I. I have the utmost respect and come from a family of police officers, but one in particular has committed veteran status discrimination, police discrimination, and business discrimination against me. I've been harassed every time I've tried to conduct business. I've been forced to move when I was within my legal rights. The following is a background and sequence of events. I've complied with all Belmar ordinances and thoroughly inquired Sharon K. Day and April Claudia starting March 13th prior to my business endeavor. I've invested $16,000 and took out loans to start my business buying a truck, trailer, and cart. I need this endeavor to be successful to pay these loans and protect my livelihood. On June 6th, I was told by a police officer that I could not be on Ocean Avenue. I needed to speak to Bob Pop. I produced the ordinance, which he read and then completely disregarded. He ordered me to move and to contact Bob Pop. When attempting to contact Bob Pop, Sharon K. Day informed me I could be on any corner of Ocean Avenue. On June 8th, TR complained about me being on 16th Avenue. I was approached by police officers who weren't certain about the ordinance. Later, Bob Pop arrived on site explaining I am in my legal rights, and if I am harassed again by TR, I should file harassment charges. On June 14th, at approximately 11:30 p.m., I set up on 18th Avenue near DJ's Bar and Grill. A manager belligerently threatened me, telling me I had to move. I told him he should speak to a police officer because I am with the law. Badge number 147 informed me that Captain Heisman ordered me to leave even after the owner of DJ said I was legally allowed to be there. Captain Heisman told badge number 147 the law does not allow me to operate at nighttime. It does not say that in the ordinance. I called Captain Heisman immediately, but I could not get a hold of him. I moved to 17th Avenue because badge number 147 told me you don't want to go up that road. On June 15th, several businesses harassed my employee and TR took pictures of her while we were operating. He waited till I parked the truck or went to the bathroom to take pictures. A group of police officers then told her she needed to move. After reviewing the ordinance, Lieutenant Cox granted us permission to operate. Later that day, I spoke to TR, and he was going to do everything he could to remove me from 16th Avenue. He emailed the town and gathered all nearby businesses. He threatened to start selling hot dogs for 49 cents or to operate his own cart on his corner. He has organized this attack and has come to this town to remove veterans from his territory. He is known by many members of the town to be an annoyance and local bully. At 10 a.m. on June 17th, the director of the boardwalk informed my employer that we cannot operate on Ocean Avenues and said we must move. He questioned my veteran status and explained that he was going to town and would be returning. At approximately 12:35 p.m., I went to the police department. I talked to Chief, not Captain Heisman, and asked him why I was ordered to remove from 18th Avenue. He informed me there was a law stating that I couldn't be within 20 foot of a business that had a liquor license. He said his deputy was going to show me the law, but the document was never produced when I asked for it. He also asked me, or informed me there was I have an older version of the ordinance, which did not include all laws. Chief claims do not add up because I've attained this ordinance so close to operations and I was in close contact with April Claudia. He informed me he disagreed with the law and thought I should not be able to operate in Belmar. He explained he wanted to take action against me because so many businesses were complaining. We went through each and every law and how I followed them. He said he would do what he could to change the law and his legal analyst will evaluate it. He said he considers DJ's and Ocean Avenue the beachfront, which the law clearly differentiates. Chief showed it wasn't important to him that I was a veteran and shrugged it off when I informed him I'd served overseas.
I don't mean to cut you off, but would you try to keep it to 5 minutes?
Yep.
You've obviously put a lot of time and effort.
I got 2 more paragraphs, so you let me finish.
Yes, sir.
The 14th Amendment contains an equal protection clause which reads, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction of, you just go to the bottom, it says, nor deny any person within his jurisdiction the equal protection of laws. Everyone understands the devastation our home has survived. I'm compassionate to all the businesses in Belmar and the hardships they've endured. But I call you today to never forget. Never forget that although houses were wrecked, businesses ruined, and people injured, it cannot be compared to the amount of lives our brethren lost and the pain they have endured. Never forget those who have fallen to protect our livelihood. We need you now to protect ours. Several people have threatened me and doubted my veteran status. People have cursed, harassed, bullied, and now are trying to shut me down. As a law-abiding veteran in the United States, I need support from all of you. Mayor Doherty, the Belmar Council, and the Police Department to protect veterans' benefits and to uphold the existing Belmar law and New Jersey state laws. Your decisions affect our future. Belmar has made these laws to support veterans, and I hope and pray for me and my fellow veteran vendors that Belmar reduces the license fees for a veteran employee and does not infringe, but only improves the benefits that are existing today. Thank you for never forgetting.
Mr. Riddle,
Yes, sir.
I think, again, it's, okay. Mike
Yes, sir.
Dupont is our borough attorney.
Yes, sir.
So he'll be able to.
Mr. Riddle, I'll see you right back there.
Right now?
Sir, you want to
Real quick,
Yes, sir.
Second.
Sir.
You should collect them all.
What was it? Oh, yeah. I agree with that. Went black it out. Kind of give it that. Yeah, that's easy. You can just drop it out, I trust you.
Yes,
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, you know, that's a good question. Does anyone else have any comments on veterans vending?
Joan Corallo, A Street. I would just like to see the council reconsider your 5-minute rule. It's not the first time, but I've sat out in this audience, and it's embarrassing. When somebody is here and they're trying to get a point across, they have to rush their presentation or they're cut off in the middle. I just find it rude and embarrassing, and I wish you would consider. Thank you.
Any other public comments, questions? John?
Good evening, Janice Kieran, Blackburn, River Court. I would just like to commend Belmar for their Operation Reassurance. I think it is absolutely wonderful. I walk my dog in Wall because we're closer, and there's a woman that I stop and visit every single morning to make sure she's okay, because Wall is not considerate of their seniors. So thanks.
I just for the veterans for the
Hello to,
1002 Main Street. Okay. I remember years ago, with that event, Messina's hot dogs, stands, whatever you say, Mr. Marino, that is not alive any longer, he was saying, because they have a problem like that years ago with that event, but it's okay for the veterans. They have the right to have those, whatever you call cars, push cars, hot dog cars, only the ones they are really veterans. Not to listen, not to have somebody else running themselves. And if it is the truth what he says, he should be able, he must have a sense not to put it right next to somebody's business. Or if he goes 3, 4, 5 blocks away, nothing there. That's what I remember from Marino. You know Mr. Marino.
Yes. Yes, Brian. You gotta talk.
Brendan Reed, 109th Avenue. Just a couple of questions. One, this is regarding the issue of the plan for the outfall pipe from Silver Lake into the Shark River. I'm curious, is there any type of permitting process required that, given the fact that it's going into a public waterway, and how long will it take to get the necessary permits for
the project?
Yeah, for the project, yeah.
Typically, I mean, DEP has been really wonderful in working with us for whatever permitting needs we need in the wake of Sandy. We've seen them turn around permits as quickly as 6 weeks, up to 3 months, depending on the complications of the project.
Great, thanks. And the other question I have is this regarding an issue raised some weeks back. This is about the parking issue on Ocean Avenue and the access out of our building, the Ocean Harbor Apartments. There's a there's a line of sight visibility with the cars coming, especially now we see it in summer. There's a parking space right before a fire hydrant on Ocean Avenue, right by the beach now, and I was wondering if that's been looked into at all.
I think this came up at a
Yeah,
community meeting.
it came in the meeting in our building, and I mentioned it some weeks back.
Who's your police officer?
That's Lieutenant Cox.
We'll circle back. We'll get you an update.
Can you get Brendan's information?
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for listening to me. My name is Robert Hodges. I'm a retired Army veteran. I represent Monmouth County American Legion Executive Committee. This gentleman came to our meeting last night in frustration about the case that he presented here. We have 42,000 American Legion veterans in the state of New Jersey. And all I can say is I understand the businesses that are established, how they may feel, but by the same token, many people who are successful businessmen today started with a cart back when I was a child in Chicago, pushing carts trying to make a living, and they found a way for him then. I think that probably Belmar will come up with the right solution that'll be satisfactory, but he shouldn't feel intimidated and he shouldn't be discouraged from trying to make a living. Thank you very much.
Any questions, comments? Yes, sir.
Henry Grau, 116 14th Avenue, Belmar. Last year I came before the mayor and the council and I asked the question if we had changed the zero tolerance ordinance. And at that time the mayor said no, we hadn't. We had a discussion about it, and in the weeks following some tickets were issued and the noise level in our block dropped by at least 90%. So I'm here tonight to ask again, has the zero tolerance ordinance changed from last year to this year?
I think we had an email exchange. One of the things I expressed to you is that our attorneys advised us, since you're a plaintiff in a lawsuit against the town and we're officers as elected officials, that we're unable to discuss really anything with you until that case is settled.
I don't understand. This has nothing to do with the lawsuit. It has to do with zero tolerance and noise violations on my block.
Right, if you'd like to make comments on that, you're free to make comments, but I'm just saying, as far as responding to you, you'd have to talk to our attorney.
Oh, okay. All right, so,
I'll ask a question. Do we still have a zero tolerance policy?
yes, it's on the Belmar website. I sent it out to everybody today. And it does state that there are no warnings. And it says it is the law. And it also gives examples of what zero tolerance noise means. It says loud noises, and it even states that slamming a taxi door at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, my concern is, I'm not concerned about a taxi door shutting. My concern is 8 to 10 intoxicated people on their porch at 2:30 in the morning having a pizza party. And I call and the police come and they don't issue a ticket. I have a problem with that. That's not zero tolerance. I personally don't believe in zero tolerance. It's your rule. I believe there should be a warning. But I have called 10 times this year, since Memorial Day, 10 times. Not one ticket has been issued.
Chief, do we have a policy?
Policy is,
Zero tolerance?
if the officers get there and there's noise at that time in the morning, they'll issue a summons, but they have to witness the noise. If it's a call and we get there and there's no noise, there's nothing they can do.
Okay, but sir, if the police officer gets there, whether it be loud music on their front porch like this weekend, or 2:30 in the morning having a pizza party, and the police officer tells those people to go inside or to shut down their music, I think that constitutes a warning. Now, I think at that point, if they think everything is hunky-dory, they should just leave it and go on their way. They should either give them a ticket or not. But if they tell them to go inside, which I appreciate because it stops, but I'm up and I had to call the police and I have to be up. So I don't understand where zero tolerance comes in.
But you also have to look at, sir, if they get there and they don't hear the noise, but the people are still on the porch, as a courtesy, they would tell them go inside so it doesn't continue. I wasn't there at the call, but the guys that are walking, I have on patrol. If there's noise at 2 o'clock in the morning, they're writing summonses. I see the summonses that are coming in. But if they get there and the music is off, they can't write a summons unless they hear the noise. But anyone that's walking, if it was me, I would tell them, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, guys, it's time to go in. Even if there was no violation, I would push them to go indoors. I can't make them go indoors, but if they hear the noise, they're gonna write the summons.
Tom, what's the level of noise that constitutes a violation? I mean, I would, if I was sitting on my front porch at 2:30 in the morning and I wanted to talk to people, that's not a violation, right?
Technically, the ordinance is counted, it says that the noise leaves your property line.
The noise leaves your property line.
That could be at any time, but I mean, I don't think it's right if someone is speaking, the property lines in some areas in Belmar are 1 foot apart. So if you're 1 foot apart on your property line, technically you're in violation. So we don't want to get into that where everyone that speaks gets a summons.
I'm not quite sure of the issue, but is this involved the lawsuit that you filed?
Not at all. Not at all. It has nothing to do with it.
And what does this question?
This has to do with zero tolerance ordinance,
Noise violation.
noise violations.
All right, so although I'm not handling, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, Mr. Grau, but I know that you're in the process of suing the Borough of Belmar on a prerogative writ. I didn't review all of the prerogative writ issues. I'd ask that if you don't mind, that direct the question to me maybe after the meeting so that I can address the questions that you have regarding whatever issue you are having, so that I can then address it with the attorney who's representing the Borough of Belmar, if you don't mind.
It's fine.
I'll ask, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. Just stay there a second. Hey, Chief, for the record, do we have a zero tolerance, yes or no?
Yes, you have zero tolerance.
Okay, is there any way, I mean, I emailed you some questions, I never heard back from you. How can we resolve this? I mean, we're obviously, if a citizen has a problem, how can we, any suggestions? We went to our police officer on the street.
I don't mean to be disrespectful for your questions, but as I explained to Mr. Brown, I don't know the basis or all the facts surrounding the lawsuit that Mr. Brown has filed against.
Why is that his fault?
Well, because another counsel, another attorney is handling it. So what I asked Mr. Brown, and he doesn't mind doing it just for the sake of protecting the Borough of Belmar, that any questions that you may have that I was going to ask Mr. Brown privately, and then I can contact Mr. Northway, who's handling that litigation. So maybe after the meeting that you and I can just address some of your questions, and I can ask Mr. Brown so that there's no confusion, no issues that are being crossed with respect to the lawsuit that Mr. Brown has and the questions that he's asked.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
I disagree with that. I think this is between the police and a citizen, and there's no reason we can't find a resolution.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Patty Kavanaugh, manager of 1002 Main Street. Claire, I might be your squeaky wheel. I wrote a letter to the borough and the town council asking them about the outside dining ordinance. And this is just a follow-up to that letter. Nowhere in the ordinance does it state that outside dining can occur in the rear or backyard of a commercial building. And I'm here to try and resolve this issue before anyone gets hurt. And as far as I know, no permits have been issued or mercantile licenses as of today for 1006. It's my understanding that a restaurant is going there and that there will be outside dining and it will occur in the rear of the property. And I think that they were also looking for it to occur on a rooftop. It was a roof, it's now a deck. I'd like to know how it's being allowed for 1006.
I'm sorry, what's being allowed?
How outside backyard dining will be allowed when it butts up to a residential zone.
They've not submitted any permits to show that they're going to do that.
There's a lot of papers back there. There's a lot of outside tables. That's what it looks like. That's what it appears.
The question is not may, can it be allowed?
Can it?
Can it be allowed?
Because my understanding is that the intention of your ordinance when you changed it was for that outside dining to occur on Main Street, and that is what all newspapers and everything else says.
Well, we can have planning board attorney.
Yeah.
Get in touch with you whether or not it's permissible under the existing zone.
Yeah, we'll give you an update.
Because I would just,
The simple legal questions, yes or no legal question.
okay, because I'm just wondering, I mean, there's a room full of people here, and I'm just wondering how if you were to wake up one morning
Patty,
and
just
there's a
have to
restaurant
address-
by you.
Patty, just have to address the council.
Oh, okay. Then if you were to wake up one morning and there's a restaurant by you and all of a sudden your neighbor, well, let's just say it's your neighbor. It's your neighbor having a barbecue every day from noon till night with 50 people there all of the time. It's going to create a problem. And I think it's your responsibility to not disregard and disrespect the people who live in this community. And if your intention when you passed that ordinance was for it to be for Main Street dining, that's what it should be for.
When you say Main Street, you mean in front of the building?
Of course, yes. I mean, this is butting up against a residential zone. There is no question as to whether or not how many times the police will be called for noise and what else is going to be there. I mean, is there going to be music there? What else is going to take place there? It is literally butting up against a residential zone.
Like I said, we will have the planning board attorney get in touch with you. If it's not as-
Okay, because once it happens for one, it's going to happen up and down Main Street. There's going to be no stopping it. Because you can't do it for one and not allow everybody else to do the same thing.
Well, you're right, it's either permitted use in the zone or it's not.
Thank you.
I do just want to emphasize, no permits have been issued. So
I
it's not
understand
always
that.
allowing some.
Yeah, I have a bird's eye view, and I feel like an insider trader, because I feel like I have insider trader information, and that's my biggest concern, and that's why I'm here, because I don't want it to become a problem. I mean,
So in other words, if there is a loophole now, you want to close the loophole before any permits are issued?
I would, I've read the ordinance, it states curbs, it states curbside, but I see what's going on. I mean, it's apparent to me. There's pavers back there where there used to be grass, and, you know, there's outside dining, tables, things, stuff that's there, that's what it appears to me. And if there is something that's deficient in that ordinance, it needs to be changed now. It should not affect those residents. It shouldn't affect people that have lived there for 44 years. Since I was a tiny little baby, they shouldn't be exposed to that. It's
When
not
you're
fair.
talking about zero
It's not right.
tolerance, sounds like the neighbor could zero tolerance that, because if people are eating outside.
And they're not just going to be eating. I'm sorry. They're going to be drinking too, because it's a BYOB.
Well, we'll have our do we have Patty's email? We'll have Doug Novak get in touch with you regarding the permitted use.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yes, David.
Hi, David Schneck, 302 C Street. I have something I want to talk about, but first, I just want to say real fast that, you know, regardless of if you have a lawsuit against a town, and I'm not familiar with the details of Mr. Grau's lawsuit, I don't have an opinion on it, or what he wanted to discuss tonight, but if you have a lawsuit against a town, that does not eliminate your right to speak to your government in public about another issue. So if Mr. Grau had something to say about his water, would you object to that, or?
No, there's no objection to him speaking. He's asking us to address questions.
But it was unrelated to the lawsuit, so the man should be allowed to speak, you know. He didn't even bring up the lawsuit, you did, you know, so.
Right, because I talked to our attorney about it, but I had already talked to Mr. Grau via email, and he knew about that well before it came up to my.
But.
You asked a question, Dave, ask it.
But if he, well, no, but if he has a issue unrelated to his lawsuit, I don't see why the lawsuit shouldn't even be mentioned in this forum. It shouldn't even be, the subject shouldn't be broached, you know, if it's not related to the lawsuit. I can understand you don't want to have the lawsuit argued in public, but his is what he brought up, and like I said, I don't really know the details. Anyway, I don't want to lose my
That's
confidence. So
why,
this is
that's
what
why we have an attorney.
well, he wasn't even here when he was talking.
But if
So.
the attorney has no idea what the lawsuit's
He didn't even know.
Why punish?
Yes, anyway, I really want to get to this.
But you're making a point, and it's not valid. Mr. Brown contacted me about this. It was after he filed a lawsuit against the town. I contacted our borough attorney and said, listen, someone's contacting me about this issue. He's filed a lawsuit, not about this issue, about something else. How should I handle it? He said, look, just better safe than sorry. Just tell me if there's any issues, any questions, just give me a call. I gave him Michael DuPont's email. I gave him Michael DuPont's cell phone number. He could always address it. He could have his attorney address it. If he wants to come up here and speak, he can do that. But if he asks questions, based on what our attorney's telling us, we shouldn't respond to him until the lawsuit is settled.
But
Simple.
the attorneys are for, because advice
protect
only.
us.
Advice only.
Well, you don't take the advice, but I take the attorney's advice.
Okay, well, okay, so as long as you can speak in public, of course you don't have to answer. This was brought to my attention by a resident. I'll be quick because I know I only have about 45 seconds left now. But, oh, good, okay, that'll be enough time. I'm sure this was oversight. It's not a major thing, but I just want to point it out because I think you need to be more careful that it doesn't happen again. And what happened was, I'm sure it was an innocent mistake, but on election day, your tweets are published on the Belmar website, which the Belmar website is the people's property. And you tweeted, and honestly, I really think it was just an oversight, but you tweeted to make sure everybody go out and vote for Democratic candidates, Brian McGovern and Janice Blackburn. I have a screenshot of it here, and I'm sure you probably weren't thinking that, well, wait, this is the borough's town, the borough's people's website, and here I am on the website promoting Democratic candidates. But please, I would ask you to be more careful in the future, not to use, when you tweet on the borough's website, not to tweet politically.
Well, I'll probably just change the link because I'm sure I tweet personal things too. So, thank you.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be, I don't mind, but that should not have appeared on the borough website. Everybody go vote for Democratic candidates, this is definitely a breach of the public's.
Taxpayer dollars, right?
Yeah, a lot of taxpayer dollars, not just a few, so I would ask that you.
Ethics complaint filed.
No, I will not file an ethics complaint, and like I said, I think it was just an oversight, and I'm just asking you to just be more careful going forward.